Gravy, baby.
Welcome to Gravy Baby. What's up, my little gravy babies, my little gravy boats, my little biscuit bitches? Carmen's not here, so I had to say it. What's up, DJ Lewis?
Man, I'm chilling, man. I'm just out here chilling tonight, dude, out here by Interstate I-75, looking for the shooter, looking for a man on the prowl.
Yeah. Remember those videos I sent you?
Yeah.
All right. First of all, I mean, I guess we should say a lot of people died. That sucks. It's not funny.
Oh, yeah.
No, shot a bunch of people. But the reaction in small town America is just, chef's kiss.
Yeah.
Oh, man. And also, great job with the character you were doing, because first I was like, my brain went, why does DJ sound like he's on location? And then you weren't on location. I thought you were doing like a radio thing, you know, just like, come on down to Billy Bob's used cars. We got deals, we got t-shirts, we got pies for the kids.
Ooh, boiled peanuts, Cajun style.
If that I-75 Shooter shows up, we're going to run him over with a brand new Dodge Ram 1500. This thing's got a Hemi.
Dude, I love it right now because, like, well, I mean, not right now, but for a couple of weeks, it was all I-75 Shooter and fucking Casey Anthony moving to Murfreesboro. And it was like the torches and pitchforks were out because they was out. These motherfuckers just not having it. Not.
It is funny to think about someone infamous moving to a town, like moving anywhere that's not the size of Nashville or bigger.
Right.
And Murfreesboro is
Murfreesboro, dog. Like, they gonna know her at the fucking Dollar General. They're gonna fucking know her.
Right.
She's gonna go to Dollar General. God damn, dude. That is wild.
Wow. And she's got a new boyfriend, what's that guy's deal?
I know. She says that he's still married, so they got a lot. They perfect for Murfreesboro. It's not like they're not a good fit. They just come in with a lot of baggage.
Is it the ultimate side piece? It's like, hey, go tell my wife, or I'll tell him where the body is.
Oh man, what is she dealing with right now? God dang,
man, the psychology of wanting to fuck Casey Anthony is truly,
man.
I have to assume OJ dated, but I also have to assume part of that was because he was rich. And
yeah.
Let's acknowledge it. There's a weird thing with women's sexuality and fear. Like, and I'm not saying all women will listen to true crime because they want to fuck Jeffrey Dahmer. I'm saying some women want to fuck Jeffrey Dahmer. So we've seen that before. Is there a similar niche? Some men want to fuck murderous women?
Sure, dude. Why would you? What's not to love about?
I'd say the murdering her daughter part. That's where I would start.
Yeah, I started thinking about it as soon as I started saying that. I was just trying to make a joke, but no, that's exactly who you're not trying to fuck with. Period. You're not even trying to be like, dude. And all
the crazy thing, right? That's a stereotype. Some men want to fuck quote unquote crazy girls. They're good in bed. They're fun. Whatever. But that's like in my head. I'm like, yeah, but I'm talking about like, she set your car on fire because you were on the phone with your sister and she thought it was a different woman. Not she murdered her baby.
And hid it in the woods or whatever. That's crazy. That's not the right kind of crazy. That's not at all. And like that, I think there is definitely a difference between having like a bad. I mean, I imagine women do like the bad boy thing, right? Not necessarily the Jeffrey Dahmer thing. Even though. Who was that dude that had the skeletons all over his face? He got.
Oh, I forgot his name, but he was handsome and people were into him.
Yeah. He's like, he gets 3,900 fucking goddamn letters a day from thirsty ass bitches. Say is get money. They say put money on the books to that man.
That's the ultimate I can fix you. I think it's because a lot of women's fantasies to be murdered. And so
Yeah,
with
but
Indigo Soua.
oh man, that sounds so familiar.
She's a pretty good artist. I think she lives in Asheville, but one of her most popular songs, the opening line is fuck me and then throw me off the roof.
That's very Asheville.
Yeah, dude. And I'm into it. But I guess I'm just into the girls who want to be murdered. I'm not one of the girls who wants to be murdered.
So you're into girls who want to get murdered, but you're not into murdering girls.
But I'm processing that as I say it out loud. Like Indigo Soua, you said that's very Asheville, and I was like, yep, that's what I'm into. Very Asheville.
Yeah, Asheville, Asheville. Yeah, man, boy, they going through some shit right now.
Yeah, I was gonna say Asheville circa 2008.
Right.
Yeah,
yeah.
Well, to get back to our initial laughter, and I teased it a little bit. I don't know what's been going on where you're from. So I live currently about an hour from where those poor folk got shot. In fact, my dad and mom have a cabin. It's a storage shed that they put insulation in.
That's
that exit, yeah, that exit is like where we get off to go to the cabin.
No way, dude.
Yeah, London, Corbin. There's a few you can take because it's like, there's no direct route. But yeah, that's the first one you can choose. So like, I'm familiar with that area, but also culturally, it's basically where I'm at now. And obviously people are aware. I mean, dude, I caught myself doing it. I was driving up the road the other day. There was just a dude parked in this weird spot sitting in his car. And in my head, I was like, there he is.
There he is.
I-75 guy.
Oh, man.
But I was at the Pedders Market the other day, and as I am wont to do when I have a day off, walk around and buy $2 sweaters that say things like, go fuck yourself. That's a nice one I found recently. I bought a bowling shirt the other day for $1.50. Anyway, this lady was on speakerphone. Just, I could hear her and her daughter. Her daughter had called from school to complain to her about how the school wasn't doing enough to keep them safe from the I-75 shooter. And how she had raised those concerns with the school and no one would listen to her. And it reminded her of what had gone on the sheriff's department's Facebook, where the sheriff had told people to stop spreading rumors because people were saying things like, he could be anywhere. He could easily be here by now. And there's so much land up on Gobi and Smoky Junction. He could be there. Nobody would know it. And that devolved into, I think he's up on Gobi and Smoky Junction. And the sheriff's department saying, stop spreading rumors. And her mom goes, that's the thing about a rumor. It's a rumor till it's true.
Oh man, they gonna be setting up goddamn checkpoints for too long, dude. Goddamn, just out of their minds.
Buddy, it's a tragedy, obviously, but it is clearly the best thing that's happened to some people around here.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, that's part of it, right? You just get jacked up because whatever, dude. It's crazy how many damn. So since the school shooting happened in Winder, right?
Yeah.
So we've had nonstop school shooting scares. Like not us. This is actually in Georgia, not where I'm at, but like they had one.
Where Facebook's at?
Yeah, where my Facebook's still located. Still getting all their news. For sure. Still keeping up. But yeah, man, they've had some in Somerville. They had some in Dade County. I mean, it's almost every single day, man. They're just either getting scared. Like people are so amped up. They're fucking, you know what I'm saying, scared because fucking having it in Winder. That's crazy as hell. It's crazy as hell that happened in Winder. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
And
it is
crazy. It's fucked up, huh?
I was just saying it is crazy. I was looking at a house there a month ago.
Buddy, that's the goddamn stick, son. That ain't no, did it? Man, it is wild how they're doing that boy just on his memory of him. and how they're handling the whole thing so terribly, because they've got him on foot. They're showing pictures of him with like went deer hunting, and he's got there with it. And it's like, man, this ain't got shit to do with shit. What are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, this ain't got shit to do with shit. The boy was out there deer hunting. You're just like, God damn, okay. But like, and I don't know, after a minute, I didn't really keep up with the story, even though I hear it's all kind of fucked up with his dad and all that shit. But, as far as I'm concerned, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what happened. I ain't got no opinion on it, really, except for it's fucked up. And everybody down here in that area is fucking on high alert, looking for the I-75 shooter, the goddamn school shooters, fucking Casey Anthony. They're all goddamn the red.
The cat-eating Haitians.
I gotta let their minds. The cat-eating Haitians. God, Lord have mercy.
Yeah, it's not good out there.
No, it ain't good, bud. It ain't good.
Just tragedy upon absurdly hilarious reaction to it.
Yeah, I mean, that's just the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
It's not good, but like just the way that it gets processed and then fucking put back out. I mean, yeah.
And it's like, that's one thing the pandemic and the internet combined has really broken our ability to process. Because there's just no time to do it, both because it's all happening live in your phone and all reactions are happening live, and then also because something about being locked in that long made us think that that's what we got to do, is just like process this all right now or whatever. And then, and that results in, I mean, this girl was furious that the sheriff's department told them to stop spreading rumors. She genuinely felt like that was a huge stumbling block to the safety of the community, telling people not to share information on Facebook. She was genuinely concerned that the sheriff saying don't spread rumors is going to prevent someone from finding the I-75 shooter. Like it was some sort of chilling effect throughout the spectacular is my only reaction. And so to that, DJ, I asked, what's gravy, baby?
You're special. I enjoyed it very much.
Oh, thanks, man.
Your video skit, your comedy video skit.
My video skit. Yeah. My Don't Tell's out. If you've been listening for a few weeks, you've been hearing me talk about it. You can find it on YouTube. Type in Don't Tell Comedy Drew Morgan. I don't think it's their most recent video. I think they've already put another one out because the machine keeps machining. But it's a 15-minute comedy special. And if you followed me for years, at the back end, there's a couple jokes you're going to recognize. But the first part of it's brand new. Thanks, man. I'm really proud of it. I'm proud of how it came out, especially considering the circumstances of just having to, like, prepare for it, moving here, getting ready for it, flying across country to film it, I was very, very, and I was aware of it. I don't think I took it entirely for granted or anything, but I was very blessed when I was touring with Well Red in many ways. But one was like, well, there's always a show. Oh, that joke didn't work. All right, well, where are we going to be next week? I bet the people in Iowa will like it. And in trying to craft that, I can tell, like, where, damn, I needed some work. But I can also tell that most people can't. Like I really, so anyway, that's a stupid way of saying I'm very proud of the work that I put in on it. I'm very proud of the jokes and the sort of perspective I took. Yeah, thanks, buddy.
Yeah, man. I mean, it was really good. Is it, when you watch it, is it kind of like now a point in time? You know how sometimes you'll have something and you're like, oh man, I also remember I was going through this, or like, you know what I'm saying? Just like
well, there was
like a milestone.
There was existential crisis with becoming a dad and just me having the personality that I do, on top of almost actual crisis with Andy nearly dying, on top of the circumstances with which we moved back here being pretty dark in terms of sickness in the family. I'm saying all that to say, I watch it and I'm like, oh, I know how I was feeling and how I got to these jokes.
Right.
And I also know which ones I threw out because either they weren't ready or they were never going to be ready. Like, I have a joke that works sometimes about the jokes about like not wanting Roscoe when I thought Andy was going to die before I met him. Like, there was a space before I met him when I thought she was dying and the doctor was like, you want to meet your baby? And I was like, fuck that baby. And it worked on stage, but it's like it wasn't going to work on the Don't Tell. And then now it won't work because it's just like I don't have a connection to, like, I don't even remember it. And I don't feel that way. And I can pretend, and maybe I could go back. Anyway, there's another joke I have about how I had essentially joked about my in-laws dying on my last comedy special. And then, and then that was like, that's too, you know, that's for my fans. This is going to be seen by, in theory, a lot of people who don't know me.
Yeah.
So yes, again, I'm being long-winded. Absolutely, it's reflective of a space I was in. And then I watch it and I'm like, I'm proud of like how I pulled out what was going to work and what didn't. Because you can screw that up. You know, it would have been much safer for me to do jokes that weren't about my life at that time.
Right.
But you know, I've been around forever at this point. I mean, that's the thing. Like, I was looking at the other ones that they're sharing. It's like, it's all these comics have been doing it 6 years, and I'm like, man, you're so good. Like, I can't believe how good you are. That you're 6 years in and you're putting these specials out at this high level. But anyway, I'm proud of it. I don't know what's next. You know, I have an hour that I want to do next year or maybe the year after. But, you know, I put it out. It is what it is. That's what you do, right? You just write them, you put them out.
Yeah, man. Hell yeah. I mean, you know, dude, I think it's crazy, man, because I don't know, my algorithm's all fucked up anyways, these days. It's so fucking crazy. My YouTube there's no telling what it'll Hulk. There's a I was just gonna say, I was watching some real super cringe. Like, there's like 100,000 fucking channels out there for comedians, and then comedians posting or like discussing other comics or comedy or like the industry of comedy, or not the industry of comedy, but just drama and just like all this and all that. And I was like, man, if there's a way to like be able to do this and never, ever, ever, which, you know, I've been involved in that before. Like, I think, you know,
Pat Daniels is the only person I can think of.
Yeah.
Who's like, and Roy Wood Jr. to a certain extent, but Roy, I think, transcends things. And there's no way to like mimic that. You know what I mean? It's like, if you're trying to make it in music, if you're as good as David Bowie, you don't need any advice.
Right.
And well, you know, okay, if you're not, then you're talking about, and I think Chad's better than me, but he's been doing it longer. But I also think Chad has just like figured it out in terms of working what he works, staying out of a lot of that stuff. Greg Fitzsimmons did that for a while. He's sort of commented on how he kind of got tired of watching his friends buy new houses. He sort of like, wink, is like, I was tired of people who aren't as funny as me. Like, so he started like getting more involved in that stuff. I can't think of anyone else. I'm sure there's people who have niche internet followings who are able to do it, but I know what you mean. The industry of stand-up on YouTube right now is very much incestuous. It's very, you know, Bobby Lee's ex-girlfriend slept with Brandon Schaub, who's not even a comic, and then, and it's like, you can get caught up in that. I mean, if you're running into these people, as I was once upon a time at the store, you can easily get caught up in what's going on. You can also get caught up in, if you're trying to make it, like, sorry, I just got distracted because I'm technically working right now. Let's keep that on the down low. You can also easily get caught up in like, how do I'm not sick enough to ever like even have a thought of like, I wonder if I could get involved in their drama if it would somehow launch me. But you do have a thought of like, all right, well, this is the machine now. How do you get involved in that machine? But it all just ends up, for the most part, being either really gross or something that's not stand-up. There are people who are very good now at whatever that is, like getting YouTube views this way or that way. They do their podcast. They wear hats. Hey, I wore a goofy hat today. So I'm not pretending like I'm above it, but I'm saying it becomes a different thing. Tim Dillon comes to mind. Tim Dillon is a fine stand-up comic, but he's an expert podcaster.
Sure.
And so it's like, yeah, you can get caught up in all that. I just, well,
it's like these are channels, and there's multiple channels of it. But it's like, it's people commenting, people who are just podcasters. It's not famous. It's not like Tim Dillon. It's some dude.
Yeah.
Commenting on Tim Dillon and what Mark Maron said about Bert Kreischer on Joe Rogan. But dude, it's crazy.
It's celebrity gossip. I mean, we've seen this before.
TMZ, dog. It's TMZ, dog.
And back when comedy was a boys' club, we really made fun of that and said that was for women, right? Like that's like, oh, a gossip magazine for women. And it's wild how those same boys' club type comics have just taken to it. There's a guy or a kid who does something called Joke World, and he does a lot of that. And they all are like, "You're great, man." And I'm not saying he's not. I just find it funny.
Oh man, yeah, it's like it's great to like you're shitting on them. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's all crazy, dude. It's all. I mean, I don't know, man. I feel like half of them are plants. You know what I'm saying? Like half these YouTube channels are plants by the industry to create that kind of like content mill. You know what I mean?
The industry doesn't even have to plan them. They wait till one gets a following, and then they go, "Hi, I'm from the William Morris Agency. I can give you 5 of your heroes to be on your podcast in the next 3 days, and I can give you some money, and I can help get you sponsors." So from the podcaster's perspective, they're not even like selling out or anything like that. They're like, "Oh, I've made it. I'm going to get sponsors. I have representation now, and I'm going to get to interview Bert Kreischer. What's not to love?" Without realizing, or maybe they just don't care. Well, what happened is you just became a part of the machine that you used to exist outside of, which was pretty cool.
Right.
But maybe that's what you wanted. You know, I'm not trying to knock anybody, you know?
Yeah, no. But I don't know, man. It seems, it just seems weird. It seems
the weirdest thing that's going on right now, and it's happened to a friend of mine, and I'm happy for her, and I'm proud of her, and she's very funny, and I always knew she was going to make it. But Kill Tony makes people kings and queens, and that shocks me because it almost like it is a place you can display comedy chops, but getting any heat almost always comes from your ability to riff with the interview panel. And obviously that's important, but it has no bearing on if you go to see someone do a live show, if they're going to be good or not. So it's just crazy. But we've been here for 5 years. For at least 5 years, people have been going to see people do stand-up comedy, and they're a fan of them, but they're not a fan of their stand-up comedy. They've never even seen it. So, you know, I mean, that's part of the reason I wanted to get a Don't Tell so bad. It was an outlet where people were blowing up for their stand-up. Now, I got with them later than I wanted. Then I finally got my special, and then I had to do another one. And now they've kind of saturated their own market. But yeah, I'm still fucking thrilled that that's what I got to do.
For sure, it's awesome.
And I mean, I'm not, so I would never be good at the other stuff. That's why I'm wearing a hat.
I don't know, man. You had the one heckler, and that was good. And I'm glad they kept it in there because it was very authentic.
Yeah, it was.
Very
And I was
genuine.
very frustrated because we were filming. I wish I would have had the grace to realize this is the best thing that could have happened to me on this taping.
Right, but I think that's what made it more authentic. I think if you had just known that, I think if it hadn't have gotten to you, because that's something that I really appreciate is like that type of sincerity and that type. It made the whole thing so much. It was, and maybe this comes from a guy who like used to be in the back of the room, but like that's what made it for me personally, and that's when I feel like that's when it really blossomed. It really bloomed. At that
Well, I
point.
definitely had first 10 years of comedy the way I came up and taught. I had an old school response. Now I'm saying old school in the way that a Gen Z person would say old school. I had I'm not going to be mean to you, but you need to stop because we're filming. If I were one of these people who came up on the internet, I would have reacted. And by the way, I would have reacted this way if we weren't filming. If we weren't filming, I would have played with that lady.
Yeah.
And I kind of wish I would have, but I am glad that we had the moment. And I'm proud of myself. I handled it and it was funny. But there's a moment when I tell the crowd what she said, I smiled. I go, she just called me a ginger. And I smiled because I thought it was funny. And then I'm like, made a joke and she said another comment. And then I was like, all right, I realize you're just at a show, ma'am. But like, I just flew the fuck across the country. There's $35,000 worth of cameras in here.
Yeah.
There's 4 more people to go on this show. The person coming after me is somebody I started with in New York. She's my friend. So like, there's a billion reasons other than my own ego, but my own ego's on the top of it that we cannot do this right now.
Yeah.
Whereas I probably should have just done it with her.
I mean, no. I thought it went great. Thought it went smooth, good,
buddy.
It was very. I was proud of you.
Oh, thanks, Dad.
Yeah, man.
For everyone listening at home, when he first told me about it, he said it was gay. So I just want everyone to know that was his initial reaction. Dude, I'm definitely getting fired. They're like sending all these messages I don't understand. I almost feel like my mic's not muted. I'm just listening to me right now.
That's all right. Yeah, look, man. I don't hate on any of that stuff or what anybody finds entertaining. I mean, hell, man, if there's new propaganda out, I fucking watch it. You know, Russian propaganda, dude, I love it. It's like my fucking time. It's like it's the funniest thing that there is. Like, you know what's real crazy about it is that it's basically just conservative. Like, if I don't understand how Lindsey Graham has such a well, I mean, I do, obviously. He's like obviously making a lot of money right now off the war in Ukraine, but he's always talking about Putin and stuff. And like, if Lindsey Graham or Marjorie Taylor Greene or all these people like that, Mitch McConnell, if they were in charge of making our propaganda, they would 100% be making the exact same thing. They would be making the exact same thing, man. They're like the same people. They're C people. They're chuds. C's are the same exact, wearing like fucking the vests and the dress up, the LARPing, the military LARPing people. They're the same exact people. Dude, there's this one video. It's so funny because they're all the only thing that they've got to say is just basically y'all gay. That's Russia's big fucking bird on us. Y'all gay. That's it. It's so crazy. There's this one video that they put out where at the beginning of it, it's like this couple, and I guess they're supposed to be like the average Russian couple, but they look like the most like the annoying neighbors on like a 90s sitcom, like the fucking nerdy, annoying fucking, you let your garbage out, and little Timmy was over there saying that he kissed a girl or whatever.
Dude, like Karens.
Oh, dude, yes. That's
Karina.
exactly what they're like, dude got like this
Karina.
sweater on with like that collar out of it. And he's like dumb, stupid fucking glasses. So, anyways, they get out of the fucking plane. They start looking around and fucking, they're on their way to America. And they started looking around, and it was like all this, that's like, you know, like gay people, like a trans person, like all these like American stereotypes. They start freaking out. They end up jumping out of the fucking plane.
I saw that.
They're like, and the motherfucker goes, "Forgive us, Mother Russia." He fucking jumped out of the plane, dude. And I was just like, it's so funny, man, because like, yeah, dude, like we got.
It's exactly what the GOP says. The Democrat, like, don't let your kid move to California.
Dude.
If your child moves to San Francisco, they're going to turn into a trans lesbian with a dick that sticks out of their ass, and they're going to be fucking themselves with it at the kitchen table while they tell you Marx is king. And then they're just like basically doing the same thing, except instead of saying Marx at the end, they're going to be like, and then they'll, you know what, sell your family out to the corporation or whatever. It's truly wild. It's also wild.
It is truly wild.
It's also wild how it works. Remember that couple that moved there? There's an American couple that was like super like MAGA-y that moved to Russia, you know, because like they didn't allow for all that bullshit. And then they were like, this sucks. We got to get out of here. And everybody's like, yeah, of course it sucks, dude.
There's a lot of channels on there that where there's like different families and people that move up there. And there's like different, I mean, I don't know, dude. None of them are very interesting. It all seems like.
Of course not. Everything is just like, it's especially funny to us Southerners, I think, because we've been dealing with this for years. For years, and it's worse now, but for years, lake people, that's a common stereotype everywhere you go in the South. If there's a lake nearby, everyone has stories about Yankees building a lake house there and then being furious that like black people are allowed nearby. That like they thought that the South was going to be whatever propaganda they had been eating into their brains, you know? So they're just like, well, I moved down here and I paid my taxes and now, you know, I can't get a rebel flag delivered to my fucking doorstep every morning. I thought that came with a newspaper.
Yeah, dude, that's a bunch of these people over here, dude, come down here. And then there's like, because we're like right on the river and all that other shit, dude, there's a ton of different types of people. There's a ton of mixed race people. There's a ton of trans people. Not like a ton, but like a lot more than you would see. Like, you know what I'm saying? I guess like deeper. I mean, probably they don't get this in Hendersonville or Winesville, but they definitely get it out this way by the river because people are going to fucking enjoy stuff. And I don't know, man. It's funny.
The best example I've ever seen of this, I have a lot of friends who grew up in Maraville, Tennessee. That's where I went to college. And one of my college best friends, I'm like friends with all his high school friends, and they grew up there. So I get a lot of their Facebook. Like you were just telling me, like their Facebook's still there.
Yeah.
There was this guy who wrote like an op-ed in the Maraville Times about liberal Democrats moving there from California and turning everybody gay, basically. So Maraville has been, well, Southland Books, a friend of mine runs it. They've kind of been ground zero for a lot of the culture war bullshit in Tennessee. They put on drag shows. They've been shut down. They've been protested. They've had Nazis show up. So when that was really popping off there, this guy's op-ed centered around that and was basically blaming outsiders. But it opened with, I think maybe a second paragraph, when I moved here from Minnesota, it was to get away from, this dude literally moved to Maraville to be a Christo-fascist Christian. That's probably redundant. I probably said that wrong. Found out that they were gay. But Lisa, who owns Southland Books, grew up there. Has wanted to leave, I'm certain, numerous times, but decided not to because it's her home and fuck that. But like, you can't get more like her family came from the hills, dog.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's like saying, see, this is this is what happens when you let these people move here. And it's like, it's not even funny. I mean, it is, but it's unfathomable that you could be so unaware of yourself. You moved to a place to be a Christian fascist. It wasn't what you said it was, and then you blamed that fact on outsiders.
Oh yeah, dude, the disconnect. I mean, dude, like the disconnect of that whole society, like that whole thing is just, yeah. Of course they're not aware. Like, of course they're not aware of that, dude. No self awareness.
Right. I mean, a lot of people lack awareness. They're also just not decent people.
Well, I think that's part of like having no self awareness. Is like being like,
Sure.
yeah, like I don't know I'm being shitty. I think I'm just being American.
Right. But I think there are, in my experience, those houses where they have in this house we believe in equality, Black Lives Matter, immigrant rights, and all that. And then people will point out aptly, you know that when you moved in this neighborhood, you displaced almost every person on that list.
Right.
Most of them either have to do some, like it does, like it bothers. Yeah, like they're like, fuck. Like, because they are decent. They just lack, that's just like there's a hole in their awareness there. A lot of these people who are moving in the South, it seems to me, lack awareness and almost basic empathy. Oh, I think we're back. DJ was going to tell us, he started to fade out, about the sign people and his problems with them.
Oh, no. That was a very 2020 thing. Like, a lot's changed since then.
Yeah.
A lot's changed since that.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, things change. You're allowed to change your mind. I mean, you know.
Yeah,
I've said vote blue no matter who before. It's been like 8 years, but I think they believe me. I think that was the problem with that sentence. They were like, no matter who. Fuck yeah, dude, run it. I don't know what the hell. I don't know where to go from here. We miss Carmen. What's gravy for me? Special came out. People like it. That's been gravy. Got some very sweet messages from DJ. John Michael Bond gave me a very sweet message. That was nice.
Oh.
The day it came out, this comedy festival that I applied to just because my friend ran it, I didn't even like care about it. Announced something, and I was like, oh, I forgot I applied to that. And I went and checked my email, and I got rejected. And it hurt my feelings, but it also was fucking cracking me up. I was like looking at the lineup. Some of the headliners are people that like are my contemporaries, you know, and I'm like,
yeah.
Oh man, it was very funny universe wise, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, this thing's coming out. I'm pumped about it. I didn't get into this low level comedy festival that people who couldn't see me in a dream got in. Okay, cool. But I just thought that was funny. I don't know. I'm kind of thrown off by our accidental break. I'm also thrown off because I think I said this earlier. I'm technically working, and I've been on a work call. I'm muted, I hope. I've been on a 1 hour work call for 3 hours now.
Dang.
I don't know what any of these people are talking about.
Well,
I don't care.
Well, man, I tell you, if you need to go, we could do that.
Oh, I don't need to go. I mean, we're coming up on time to go, but no, I'm chill, dude. I got my beach hat on. I got vacation vibes.
Yeah. You're doing it, dude.
We're doing it.
I tell you
You're
something.
doing it. It's fall. That's another thing that's gravy, dude. The weather is delightful.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's perfect. It's perfect. We have fucked around. We got to start fucking winterizing everything, but we just been busy working all the time.
Yeah,
dude, that's another cool thing I could say that's been going on is that so I got some of the kids, like, you know, they're learning. They're good kids. They're all good kids, but they might not be on the same level. Then we got these other kids, right?
You tell me kids you work with?
Yeah, kids I work with. I work with a bunch of different kids in different places, different types of kids. But they're all from here. And some of them are broccoli bros, you know.
Yeah, I know the style.
yeah. But some of them are like straight up like, huh?
All their hair looks like that.
Yeah. The fucking they just grow it like about right there, like just puff the fuck up. It's crazy. Uh, I just don't understand how you wear your hair like that. Anyway, and some of them play football. And I'm like, how the fuck you get your helmet on, dude? Like, what the fuck is going on under there? Like, that seems like super weird, dude. But then I have these other kids that I work with that are like super cool, man. Like way chill, way into like that I can talk to. Like, we'll be talking about the election or whatever, and talking about stuff like that, and like to be really on the level. You know what I mean? And like then
They like Russian propaganda.
yeah, they do. Yeah, everybody likes it. Everybody, even the Broccoli Bros like it, dog. And I think it's
pretty
good.
funny.
Yeah, I love showing them that the most because like for them, I think it helps them see how dumb everything is. Like, why you spot propaganda. You can spot the same type of propaganda. I feel like I'm actually teaching them a lesson, whereas with the other kids, it's just fun to make fun of
You see
stuff.
how dumb Russia is?
Right,
Now,
exactly. Yeah, they're just
look at us.
gay all the time.
You're giving them the McConaughey in A Time to
Yeah.
Kill.
Yeah,
Imagine she was white. Now imagine he was a Toby Keith fan.
yeah.
Now imagine it was Morgan Wallen.
Yeah. Dude, it's so funny. But like the cool thing with like the other kids is like, so one of the kids is like super into like the Deftones.
Hell yeah.
And dude. And it's like crazy because like I tell them stories about like being there when I had it on cassette tape. Like these motherfuckers have never owned like, they own one of them owns some vinyl, but they've never actually owned like physical copies of things. Like never owned a CD, never owned a cassette, never. So I get to be like in my friend's band, and the first time I ever heard Deftones, and we put it in, we lost our minds, dude. They're like, oh man, fucking awesome. We're like, fuck yeah, dude.
You're that guy, dude.
Oh yeah,
You're that guy from work.
oh yeah, I'm the guy from work.
And you won't buy them beer or give them weed, I imagine. And so that's funny because they're like, man, we had a guy like that in my last job. He wasn't quite as interested as DJ, but he'd get us beer.
Yeah, I wouldn't do anything like that, dude. And like, we talk about we talk about movies, we talk about like, you put them on to like Outcast, Outcast. That's like the second group of people I put on the fucking goddamn Equimini. And it never fails, dude. That fucking album,
that one.
timeless. Anybody listen to that album, it's like, holy shit, this is who this is? Like, fucking what? That's fucking crazy. Like, yeah.
God,
So
that's such a good album. I've been listening to Outkast for like the last 2 weeks. Not that album though, because I wore that one slap out, and I was it's like, damn, there's some songs I don't recognize by Outkast, Anyway, that's really fun, man. I don't have a place where that gets to happen for me. My niece the other day, I guess, followed me on Instagram, and I followed her back, and was like, "Why do you have a check mark?" That's the niece that loves ICP, and I was like, "Well, I'm doing comedy and like writing a book and all." And she goes, "That's your job?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Yeah." What did you think I did? She goes, "I don't know." And I go, "Well, people talk about me doing shows." Yeah, but I didn't think it was like you were good at it. She's like, "You commented on one of my things and my friends freaked out because you have a check mark." And I was like, "Well, I'm not at all a big deal." And she goes, "I know." She's so funny, dude. But I don't get any version of what you're talking about. You know what I mean? Like, she talks to me about ICP some. She mostly likes the art. She thinks the songs are funny.
Right.
My nephews will share that sort of new wave country stuff with me. They'll be sending me Wyatt Flores. What do you think of this? This dude used to open for Tyler. One of them's favorite artist is Tyler, and the other one's favorite artist is Zach Bryan. I don't know. I'm just a little envious that you're getting to see these kids at work and not like as the uncle, they're still a little guarded. I mean, they have to be,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, man. Fucking dude, and it's crazy because, like, I know all the shit. One of them's just now getting into marks. It's a blast. A blast. Little Padawan, just mind blown.
Yeah.
Gone, buddy.
Season the means, huh? They're seizing the means out there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, dude. Yeah, they're doing it. They're doing it.
Dude.
It's a good time.
Speaking of, I'm going to have to go in a minute. I want to know the answer to this question this person just asked. Them calling Kamala Harris a Marxist is just... It's just so fucking funny to me because it's like, man, I know we've been living in a post-truth world for a long time now, but it's like, you people keep telling me that women has a finite definition. The definition of woman is known, and we're trying to change it, and you can't handle it. Okay, keep that same energy up for words like Marxist then, please, because I am losing my fucking mind.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, she brags about being down with fucking Goldman Sachs and Dick fucking Cheney, dog.
It's also just like whether you love her or hate her.
Yeah.
That's not what that word means.
That's not at all what it is. It's just a scare word. It's just a scare word. They don't know what it means. Boogeyman. It means boogeyman.
Well, on that note, I'm going to go. I know it's a short episode today, but we didn't have Carmi pushing us through. I'll be in Raleigh on Sunday, September 15th. I'll be in Asheville, October 4th, throwing women off of roofs. That's a callback to a joke I hope you guys didn't miss. I'll be in Chattanooga, Tennessee. I'll be in Atlanta, Georgia as part of the Laughing Skull Comedy Festival. I'll be in St. Augustine, Florida. I'll be in Bristol, November 8th and 9th. All right, cool.
All right. Nah, man, I'll be fucking right here. Goddamn, right the fuck here.
Share my clips, comment on them, do all that stuff. Love yous. Bye.
Ladies.
You could stick a whole ribeye in one of your back pockets. Like,